Welcome back to the channel, Tea Times for Two, Golf Travel for Couples. And today we're in Bandon Dunes, Oregon, and we're going to answer the question, is Bandon Dunes just for buddies? Hey, I'm Scott, and I've spent the past 40 years as a successful high school football and golf coach. During COVID, I taught my lovely wife Cheryl how to play golf, and now we spend all of our free time traveling the world and playing some of the best golf resorts the world has to offer. We want to share my expertise in the golf world and our experiences with other couples who want to know, are these resorts for are they couples friendly, and are they playable by players of all levels, or are they just for buddies? Bandon Dunes is a self-contained resort about 4.5 hours south of Portland on the Oregon coast. Currently, it has 5 full-size 18-hole courses: Bandon Dunes, Pacific Dunes, Bandon Trails, Old McDonald, and Sheep Ranch. There are 2 short courses on property: Bandon Preserve, which is 13 holes, and the new 19-hole Shorties. Also, there's a putting course located at the Pacific Dunes called the Punch Bowl. Currently, there are 9 restaurants and bars on property, and there are 6 lodging choices on site: the Lodge, the Inn, Round Lake, Lily Pond, Chrome Lake, and the Grove Cottages. Today, we're going to talk about 4 reasons why Bandon Dunes is a great couples destination and not just for buddies anymore. Okay, let's get started. Number 1, playability for all levels of players. This was the most surprising thing. I've been wanting to go for years, but I was afraid that she'd feel intimidated by the courses and how difficult they were. But nothing could be further from the truth. There are multiple sets of tees, 5 of them ranging from under 4,000 yards on some of the courses to around 6,800 yards from the tips. Super wide fairways on all 5 courses. Even abandoned trails where you're in the trees and you feel like they're really narrow, they're much wider than what they look. Literally, you can putt from way off the green on all 5 of the courses. So putter is always an option. You don't have to fly the ball or carry, no forced carries. In fact, there are very few forced carries on any of the 5 courses. And there's always alternative paths that you can take to find your way around. So even a high handicap player can work their way around without getting in too much trouble. We never had a round lasting over 4 hours and 15 minutes, and that's walking because there's no carts. And while we're there on that, uh, it's not like most of your resort courses where there you go and there's maybe a half a mile in between one green and the next tee box. Literally, it's like playing like we played in Scotland. You walk off the green and there's your next tee box right there. Plus, they have those wonderful pull carts or push carts with the big tires on them that made it really easy walks, even though there were lots of hills and dunes. Number 2 reason that Bandon Dunes is a good couples golf destination and not just for buddies anymore is the setting and all the other activities that are available to you without even really leaving the resort. First off, the beauty of the resort and the courses is second to none, and all 5 are so peaceful. 4 of the courses, you literally have views of the ocean pretty much on every hole, with the exception of maybe Old Mac when you get down in the massive dunes. Bandon Trails, you get up in the trees and you don't always have views of there, but all 5 are stunningly beautiful and extremely peaceful. You talk about a great walk. I mean, it is just absolutely the best. I mean, by far the best I've played in the United States, other than being on the coast in Scotland. These are just amazing. Secondly, all the courses are right there on property. You don't have any long drives from the resort. Like you go to Myrtle Beach, you might have 90 miles or 70 miles from the far north courses to the far southern courses. Or you go to some in Wisconsin or Michigan and you're driving 30, 40 minutes away, to catch your first tee time. Well, that's not the case here. Everything's right on property. You literally have 5 of the top 15 golf courses, public courses you can play on property. If you don't have a car like we did, we rented a car. There's a free shuttle service that literally will pick you up at whichever one of the lodgings you're staying at and take you to the practice tee, and then they'll take you to your course, and then they'll pick you up at the end. So you don't need a car once you get there, and they are extremely efficient. Then you have the charming towns of Bandon and Coos Bay that are nearby, and they have terrific restaurants. Uh, You need to check out our videos on our channel about the places to eat and places to see in town. But Bandon's literally took us 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the resort, and we'd get done and we would eat most nights. We would go into town just because we like to go see the towns. So charming towns, great restaurants, good people. And there's an on-site spa, massage center, and even a fitness room if you want to get your workout in. And we use the spa, use the hot tub and the sauna after a couple of the rounds, a couple of days, especially the day at Bandon Dunes where we got a lot of rain. Cheryl didn't use the massage center like she normally does, and we go to these resorts. She usually gets a massage in the spa, but it is on site. In addition, there's hiking trails on site. A place that's really cool called the Labyrinth. It's right off Bandon Trails. It kind of like a maze and wind yourself around in there. But if you don't like those hiking trails, you can go off site. There's all kinds of hiking trails really close by. There's all kinds of fishing. You can go fly fishing. You can go deep sea fishing from Coos Bay or from Bandon itself. One of the favorite activities in Oregon are the massive dunes that you pass as you're coming in from Portland, and people are coming from all over the West Coast to ride dune buggies on these massive dunes, or dirt bikes on these massive dunes. So that's another thing that you can do. So there's a plethora of activities. If you're not just there to play golf, you can do pretty much anything else you would want to do, especially if you love the outdoors. The third reason why Bandon Dunes is not just for buddies anymore, but is a great couples destination, is the variety of courses. Each one of the 5 courses is very distinct from the others. For example, Bandon Trails, the core Crenshaw design in the trees with some huge elevation changes. You get off in the trees and you feel like you're on a completely different planet, especially after playing the other 4 courses that are out down by the coastline and on the coast. You get up in these trees and Bandon Trails with all the wildlife and the big elevation changes. It's really unique. Sheep Ranch, the newest of the 5 full-size courses, was designed by Core and Crenshaw as well. It has 0 bunkers on the entire course, and it has 9 greens right on the ocean. In fact, they call them infinity greens because you're hitting into them, and it just looks like you just go off, and the next piece of land you're going to see is Japan. It's a beautiful place. I mean, you see the ocean from everywhere on that golf course, but 9 of the greens right on it. And then you go play Old Mac, and it's a Tom Doak and Jib Urbina tribute to C.B. McDonald, and it's built on these massive dunes that bisect the property, and it's very reminiscent to me of Cruden Bay and Royal Aberdeen and even Royal Dornoch in Scotland, and it has enormous greens resembling the old course. I mean, you've got some putts that are almost 90 yards long on that golf course. It's cool. It's very cool. It was very much like being in Scotland. And you have a lot of template holes there that Urbina and Doak used from Scotland, and C.B. McDonald's designs from all over the world. Then you go play the original golf course on property, Bandon Dunes, a David McClay kid design, and then Pacific Dunes designed by Tom Doak, which are extremely scenic, with a lot of variety, unique holes all running throughout. You don't see any holes that are very similar to each other. Very creative, a lot of reminiscent of courses that we played in Scotland. Then you got 2 par 3 short courses, the 13-hole Bandon Preserve and the new 19-hole shorties, which can be played in the afternoon. Even when we went in November, Thanksgiving week, you could get those in after a full 18-hole round, and it was still light enough to play those, and you could play them in a couple hours. So it's great. So whatever it is you're looking for, if you want trees, you got it in Bandon Trails. If you want to feel like you're playing in Scotland, you got Old Mac and somewhat Bandon Dunes and Pacific Dunes. And then Sheep Ranch, which is just, you want to just go wow on every hole. That first hole and then 16, 17, just unreal golf holes and scenery on those holes. So you've got a little bit of everything on them. You're not going to go, I know you go to some resorts in Florida that we've been to, and literally it might have 6 golf courses, but they're indistinguishable. I mean, they look like you could take these 3 holes and put them on that course. Well, that's not the case at Bandon. They're extremely unique, and you have a different experience with each one. The fourth reason that Bandon Dunes is no longer just a buddy's trip, but is a great destination for couples is the cost and value. Now, remember, we went in November. We went Thanksgiving week, and we played 5 courses that are in Golf Digest top 20 public courses you can play, and it cost us $100 each. Yeah, that's not a misprint. You didn't mishear me. It was $100 each. We're going again this November on Thanksgiving, and it literally is just going to cost us $110 each. And then if you play the short courses in that week in November, they're $50 each. The room at the inn, we stayed at the inn, was $140 a night when we were there that week, Thanksgiving week. And this year it's going to cost us $160 a night. So literally you're paying $110 green fees. We pay that for munis here in Dallas Fort Worth on the weekend, and they're not anywhere near the top 15 top public courses that you can play in the world. But you've got 5 world class, top notch golf courses that if you go, when we went in the wintertime, it was $100, $110 this time. And the room, you can't get a Hampton Inn anywhere. It's going to cost us more to stay at the airport in Portland than it costs us to stay at Bandon Dunes, compared to Cabo or Scottsdale or Dominican Republic or Las Vegas or Scotland, where we paid $200 to $300 even more, or go to Pebble Beach where it's going to cost you a house payment to play and stay. Literally. We rented a car from Portland, but you can get a shuttle service that will take you from the airport straight to Bandon. You can get a shuttle service from Eugene if you want to fly into Eugene, and it'll take you right to the course. And then once you're there, you've got the shuttle service there. But you can't beat the cost and value. Now, you want to go play in the summertime? Well, it's not going to be the same value that what we got in what you can get in November, December, January, February. And you're going to say, well, what about the weather? Literally, look on AccuWeather if you don't believe me. It was in the 50s and 60s the entire time we were there. And this was in the last week of November. We only had rain one day, and that was for like 5 holes while we were playing Bandon Dunes. The rest of the time we had bluebird skies, and I'm sure that's not normal. But again, we would get up in the morning and play. We like to play early, and it would be in the high 40s, and then get up to the high 50s, low 60s during the day. And that's in November. Well, look at the weather forecast for the last summer and see what the temperatures were. It's not going to be a lot different. So again, you can't beat that time of year. Now, let's recap. While Bandon may be a terrific destination for a golf buddies trip, there's no denying that. It's awesome. From the lodging, they've got 4 bedrooms where each golfer can have their own bedroom and bathroom and a central living area. It's ideal. It's an ideal buddies trip, but it's also a great getaway for couples as well for the following reasons. Number one, the playability of all the courses for all levels of player. I mean, there's no real forced carries on any of the golf courses. They have multiple sets of tees that literally run from 3,900 yards up to 6,800. So you can bite off as much as you want. The beauty of the setting is second to none. I mean, it was the most peaceful week of golf that I played. It was great. The variety of the courses, you go from the tree line Bandon trails to Sheep Ranch, where pretty much looking at the ocean all day long, to the massive dunes and humongous greens of Old Mac. So you're not going to a resort in Florida or North Carolina where all the golf courses look identical. They're just 5 completely different looking golf courses. The fourth reason why it's good is the cost and value. I mean, if you go November to February, you're not gonna beat it. And the courses were all in great shape. I mean, $110 to play them, $140 to stay in the hotel. It's unreal. We've never come close to paying like that for that quality of golf. I would have to say before this trip, my favorite golf destination was Scotland, where we played 11 rounds of golf all around the whole country. I mean, we hit them all the top notch, from the old course at St. Andrews to Royal Dornoch to Turnberry to Cruden Bay and Western Gales. I mean, we played, you name them, we played it. but Bandon Dunes might rival it. I never would have imagined I would have said that, but having played these courses and stayed at the resort where you've got these 5 top 15 golf courses in the world right there on property, it's perfect for a couples trip. You can't beat it anywhere else on the planet. All right, now let's get a look at Bandon Dunes through Cheryl's eyes and get a woman's perspective or a higher handicap or a beginning golfer's perspective of what she thought about Bandon Dunes. So when I laid it on you that we were taking our our vacation, our Thanksgiving, no less, to Bandon Dunes Golf Resort out in the middle of nowhere, Oregon, what'd you think?
Well, I was not sure about that. I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a place I've never heard of. As a female and a new golfer, I guess I just didn't know a lot about it. But from what I did hear, it was something I thought was just for guys, a buddy's trip. So I was very apprehensive as a woman, as a pretty new golfer. What had I been doing about a year,
About a
maybe?
year, yeah.
So yeah, it was intimidating.
So let's go play 5 of the hardest golf courses in the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah. Surrounded by people that I'm assuming everybody is great, and I'm just going to embarrass myself. So yeah, it was scary.
All right. So what were some of the things when you got to the resort or when you got to the golf courses that kind of put your mind at ease and allowed you to enjoy it?
Well, first off, it's beautiful. The views are amazing. So that automatically is just something that you're taking in all the views.
I didn't lie about that, did I?
No, that was absolutely gorgeous. So something we definitely don't see in Texas. So I enjoyed that. Also, there's tees. They have multiple tees that are for beginner level, juniors, seniors.
Don't listen to her.
And high handicappers. So, yeah, they're about 3,800 to
depending on the course. And about 3,800. Some of them up to 4,000, but shorter than what we play here.
Yeah, which that was unexpected. That was really nice. The walks weren't too bad. I knew that I was going to be walking as opposed to being in a cart, so I was a little nervous about that.
She had never walked 18 holes before.
No, not at all. So, but it wasn't bad.
No, the push carts made it pretty nice.
Yeah, and let's see what else. The golf course or
wide fairways.
Yeah, the fairways were wide. It was very open, and once I got out there, it was really comfortable. I enjoyed it. I wasn't scared, so I had a great time.
Did you see other women there?
I did. We played with a couple of other couples actually. But yeah, I actually saw a few other ladies and we chatted and it was fun. And the men there did not make me feel uncomfortable at all for being out there. Everybody's doing their own thing.
So going to just a golf resort, were you surprised at all the other stuff that was available to do in Bandon besides just golf?
Yeah, I mean, the resort itself is beautiful and has everything you need. So if you don't want to leave the resort, you really don't have to. There's several, I don't know how many restaurants, nine restaurants. Okay. And they are all delicious. We hit the buffet every morning. Well, because you need your
So how was the bacon?
Oh, it was amazing. Bacon was amazing. And that's how I judge pretty much every breakfast buffet. And bacon's good. It was on point, but the service was amazing. The staff at all the restaurants, well, all the resort everywhere they were just top notch. But the food really was good. It wasn't like, okay, well, it's resort food and I'm okay because I'm hungry. I'll eat it. It was delicious. There were times I was like, yeah, let's just stay here and eat because it's so good. But if you didn't want to do that, the town of Bandon was how far? About
15 miles.
15 miles. It didn't even seem like that long. Yeah. And it's a beautiful little town. It's on the harbor and it just neat. Like something you don't see every day. Charming, almost like a Hallmark movie, which is what every woman loves to go see.
That's what you pick on the golf resort. Yeah.
But no, the restaurants were delicious there. We ate there probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can get out and explore that. Stay on site if you want. They have besides just the restaurant, they actually have a massage place. I didn't use the massage.
You normally do.
But this time I think I'm going to do that. And then they have the massage. They also have the sauna for you. Oh, yeah, that feels good at the end of the day. So we did use that, and I will use that again too.
So I guess the next question be, but I already know the answer. Would you go back?
Oh, well, I don't know. Being that my husband was like counting the days till we could book again, we're going back. We're going back
Thanksgiving week again.
Thanksgiving again because we want to spend Thanksgiving there.
Nothing
It's a good
says
time.
Thanksgiving like Bandon Dunes.
We're going to actually eat the turkey this time.
Yes, they do have
We
a
did,
turkey.
yeah.
That's right. They have a Thanksgiving dinner there.
And I bet it's good.
Yeah. We're going to find out.
So, yeah, I would definitely recommend it because, it's just,
Will women feel comfortable there?
yeah, they would. And actually, you kind of feel like you conquered something as a woman. You're like, hey, I went there, I played, I conquered, I had a great time. And again, you feel comfortable. The staff does, the other players. I highly recommend. As always, remember if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button below so we can keep providing content for other couples who love to play golf and travel.
And be sure and stay tuned and check out the next video up here in our Bandon Dunes series where we rate Bandon Dunes. And be sure to keep stopping by and join us in our travels around the golfing world. See you next time.